I wasn't sure how I was going to do the show today because this is the only story on my mind. The world is remembering Dolly Parton, the country music superstar and cultural icon who passed away yesterday after being hospitalized in Nashville, Tennessee. She was 80 years old. Her publicist said she had fought a brief battle with cancer. Her nephew, Brian Seaver, who was part of her security detail almost his whole life, announced the news on social media. And here's just a bit of what he had to say.
By her example, we believed that anything was possible. She never saw a door she couldn't open, and the doors she opened made and changed history. Dolly called me and said she wants to rest in a beautiful bed of plush cotton because after a life wearing heavy rhinestones, she finally deserves to be comfortable and have some rest. Rest in peace, Aunt Dolly.
Even though Dolly Parton became a legend as a singer and songwriter, she was also an actor and entrepreneur, and maybe most importantly, and what she cared about the most, she was a philanthropist. Tributes from across the country and around the world have been pouring in, and President Trump has ordered flags to be lowered to half-staff nationwide for 1 week in her honor. You know, I'm so happy to have my next guest because I love him to death, but I wish he was here on a different story. Co-host of Morning Joe and host of Sunday Today, my dear friend and New Jersey native, Willie Geist.
Hi, Steph.
You went to school in Nashville. Your daughter is now at school in Nashville. You've interviewed Dolly several times. Tell us about her.
When I went to college in 1993, we drove from New Jersey to Nashville, and we stopped at Dollywood.
You and your mom and dad?
Because that's what you do. When you're driving through East Tennessee, you have to go to Dollywood. I never forgot it. I got a chance over these last, 15 years or so. I think I interviewed her 7 or 8 times. It's one of those things when Dolly calls, you come. So she'd say, Willie, we're putting it in a roller coaster. Would love to talk to you about it. Yes, ma'am. I'll be right down. And we'd sit and have these great conversations about the roller coaster, but mostly about life and her career and what she built down there. And yes, Dollywood is a cool theme park, but really at the core of it, I always was struck by this sitting with her there, was that in this place where has a amusement park in her name, just on the other side of the mountain was the cabin she grew up in with 11 siblings. And literally no electricity, running water, a father who couldn't read or write. I mean, it's the definition of the rags to riches story. And she used to say, we did have running water in that we'd had to run down to the river to get it, but we didn't have plumbing. And so she built this place as a tribute to all the people that she came up with and grew up with. And she created tens of thousands of jobs at that theme park, at their convention center, and everything they do down there. And that's really what it was about. And raised money all across that community. There were wildfires in East Tennessee 10 years ago, and she started what she called the My People Fund. These are my people. And she said, if your house burned down in the fire, I'm going to give you $1,000 a month till you get back on your feet. Who does that?
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton does that. And that was all real. And that was her heart. And it wasn't some PR play. It was really how she felt, that all the success she had, she owed to all those people.
But that's sort of the thing, you know, like she was so universally you're laughing at me. Like,
I'm not. No, I'm laughing. I'm smiling because she was universally loved. Name another person.
But this is my point.
Name another person.
So few people are universally loved, right? Not in everything that she did. Why? What was it that was different about her?
She was authentic. She was kind and generous. She was talented beyond belief. We haven't even talked about the music yet. The 3,000 songs she wrote, the 25 #1 hits. All these iconic songs, but she also stayed somehow above politics and transcended, even when she was asked directly about it lately.
Even though she spoke out, right? Even though she spoke her mind in some controversial issues, she never wavered.
She never wavered, and she wasn't self-conscious about it. She would say, we're all God's creatures. She was a defender of LGBTQ people to the end. Mm-hmm. She talked about that, wasn't scared to talk about that. Only God can judge you. And so she lived that life. She walked that walk. If you really believe all the things I sing about and talk about love and light and faith, then we've got to protect all people. And that was kind of her message above and beyond politics.
Okay, it's funny that you keep saying the word above because I watched an interview that she and Burt Reynolds, like you don't ever see Burt Reynolds blush. And it was one of her first acting roles. And Burt was asked, like, how's Dolly going to do in Hollywood? And he's like, she's going to eat him up because there's no one more authentic, more real, harder working. This is Burt Reynolds, like the coolest of the cool. And I watched him look at her enamored. Like, was everyone in her orbit just enamored by her.
Yeah, and when you go and spend time with her, you spend a day with her, like you go to Dollywood, and you see how all these people there feel about her. She would do a thing when she was in town at Dollywood where during the day, this is very royal, she would do a parade, like in a carriage, through the grounds of
like
the park.
Pope.
Yeah, like the Pope. And the sides were roped off and all her fans were there. And I got to sit with her and ride and go on this ride through the park and watch her be loved, but also to love all those people. And she talked, and not in a way that was getting her any attention or anything. She talked to me privately about, look at all these faces, black, white, Asian, people of different faiths. I see Muslim people are here. I see people who are gay who are here. And she really was so proud of that. She said, I wanted to build this place, this haven where people could come and, oh, by the way, in the process, take care of the place. I grew up in the place that made me. So there'll just never be another one. There'll never be another Dolly. And everyone I interview in the world of country music, and I'm talking about women and men, mention her. Unsolicited every time.
She was Jerry Garcia's favorite female singer of all time. Jerry Garcia.
Thank you. That's it. And look at her recent collaborations with Beyonce, with Sabrina Carpenter, with Post Malone.
Yes.
Like, everybody wanted to sing with her because of who she was.
I'm so lucky to have had this conversation with you.
Thanks, Steph.